a minute.
Edit the privacy settings so it is now public. You all can actually go up there and share the video. I'm about to share it right now.
Radio station on the planet.
WBND Radio 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio, y'all. We about to have a good time. Cody is already laughing and giggling for some reason.
The opinions expressed in this show do not reflect the views of WBND Studios or any associated affiliates.
Do you know the importance of good credit? Did you know that 80% of consumer credit reports contain inaccuracies? Here at Financial Education Services,
commercial.
we help people improve their credit scores, inaccurate
Thank you.
unverifiable information such as payments,
we may play the commercial today. So that way you also can see the commercials. So y'all can know
For
what I'm talking
information,
about.
contact us at 888-466-6104. Again, that's 888-466-6104.
We getting ready to go live on WBND Radio. Share it on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your Twitter page. Share it with your family and friends. Ty and Cody is going. Ty and Cody is going live on air. And if you have not already, download the app.
Download it.
So you can listen 24/7. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning.
Welcome back to us, really.
Yeah, well, they don't know that.
Yeah, they do.
We are live back in the studio. Y'all
Actually
hear us say that
They're
each
live, for
and
real. I could
every
pinch 'em.
right. Y'all hear us say that each and every week, and unfortunately, for the past 2 weeks, we have not officially been live in the studio, but we've been live on your air. If you've been listening on the WBNDRadio.com app or the WBNDRadio.com website. Because if you have not downloaded the app or have visited the website by now, then you late and you just need to catch up. And that's like you not actually being on Facebook right about now. Be on Facebook. You know, everybody's on Facebook is what they say. Some people actually don't get on Facebook, social media, because they just don't want to be kept up with people, which I don't blame you, because I was one of those people who actually was late to the Facebook party. I had family and friends who was on Facebook. I did not want to join Facebook.
Why? I thought
I
that was
don't
the seniors.
believe
Like,
that.
yeah,
I did not want to
what?
join Facebook. Call up my ex. My ex would tell you. If it wasn't for my ex and the fact that my friends were hitting up my ex saying, hey, how was Tyron? Can you tell Tyron? We said, hey. I was like,
were you one of those that was afraid of it? Somebody's gonna get you or something?
No, I just thought it was. I thought it was a fad.
Skeletons was gonna come out.
No, I thought it was a fad. I thought it was. I was like,
truthful.
it's gonna come and go. Ain't no point of being part of this little.
Well, you was still stuck on MySpace.
I sure was. I sure was.
Black
and
Planet.
Black
And
Planet.
that was a fad.
In Black Planet, I sure was. Yeah. Don't hate on me. But anyway, I'm on Facebook now. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter.
And he big too, y'all, just so you know.
I'm not that big. I need some more friends. I need some more followers. Tell your people to follow us, the Ty and Cody on Purpose Show, on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope, y'all. How about y'all do that?
Yeah.
Do a brother a favor. I so much be appreciating it. I do. But we are actually live in the studio, y'all. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. Let's see. We got a good show for y'all today, because there's some stuff that I've had on my mind that I've actually wanted to share with y'all. What's going on, Pastor Leon? I see you shouting out.
What up, Lee?
Cousin Ariel and Renee and E. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to share the Ty and Cody on Purpose show with your Facebook friends and family, as well as have them tune in to WBND Radio. Download the WBND Radio app from your Google Play Store or the iTunes Store if you have not already done so. So, now that we're back in the studio, y'all know I had to find, it took me 2 weeks, not really, but it took me 2 weeks to find a good marriage joke of the week. Y'all.
Okay.
So, I got a good marriage joke of the week. I got a good hot topic. I got a good, days of the month, because today is what, Cody?
Monday, May 1st.
And I actually knew that today. Y'all know I never know what day it is. I never know. All I know is just Monday. That's all I know.
May Day.
It's May Day. What does May Day actually mean? Do you know?
Emergency.
Does it May? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, look, May Day.
No, it actually took me a second to catch on to what you just said. I was like, oh, May Day. Ha, get it? May Day. So anybody who knows what May Day means, is Cody just looked at me like I was crazy. Yeah, let us know what Mayday means, because I really don't know. I've heard about it, and I even seen something on the news, but I wasn't quite sure exactly what it is, and I did not take the time to look it up, so my apologies there. But we do got our days of the week and our days of the month, as well as our marriage joke of the week and so forth. I don't know about y'all, but what's going on with the weather in, like...
Trickery.
The East Coast?
I don't know. I heard of tornadoes in the West.
Yeah.
You hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, it was crazy.
But check this out. Okay, so a week or two ago, we had spring break for the kids. You know, for a lot of y'all, you've been on spring break. Y'all probably still enjoying spring break. And Cody and our daughter had an opportunity. They went out west, right? And they was enjoying. I was looking up the weather out west, and they had a pit stop in Phoenix. Phoenix weather was like 90, 99, getting ready to be 100 degrees. Then they
Is
flew.
that normal?
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
okay.
Then they flew a couple hours west into Cali, southern Cali. And I was looking at the weather out there. She didn't tell me this. I was looking at the weather out there, and the weather was supposed to be in the low to mid 70s, low to mid 80s, depending on what day it was. But it was supposed to be fairly cool for what I would consider to be California weather. It was actually supposed to be a little bit warmer here on the East Coast than it was supposed to be there. And it actually was. I took our boys to a theme park, and it was sweltering. I was hot. I was sweaty. For those who know me, I sweat easily. Y'all may see me wipe my forehead
Profusely? Is
Yes.
that the word?
There you go. Y'all may see me swipe my forehead every now and then because I'm sweating now. But she comes back and it was nice. It was hot. I think we had 1 day of overcast, something like that. She comes back and it's like 50 degrees and rainy.
The next
It
day?
ain't my fault.
Yes.
Oh, snap.
And she goes to complain. She was like, I want to go back to Cali because the weather over there was, the weather was pretty nice here when you was in California.
So is there like a spin around going on somewhere? You know how like the global warming and so basically, let me just give you an example. So the wind blows off the icebergs and it causes cold front.
Is that
I
where
don't
it
know
comes
how
from,
true
off
that
the
is.
icebergs?
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Weatherman, Mr. Entertainment.
Look,
Meteorologists.
I can't confirm nor deny that, but I just thought I'd add that little bit in there.
Gotcha.
But no, the weather has been crazy. 1 minute it was 80 something, and then before I knew it, I had on my sweatshirt. And I'm sitting here yo, that's crazy.
It changes.
It's called
with the wind.
HARP. Look it
Pneumonia and
up.
flu season.
HAARP.
HARP.
Manual intervention from humans who should not be trying to control the weather.
Aha.
So we've been tapping. No.
Okay, look it up.
With our balloons and all that stuff. This is what I heard. That they throw those big balloons up and pop them and cause all that. Is that a myth
I've
too?
never heard of that.
Or is that a cartoon?
This is the stuff I heard growing up. Now I'm
Well, I guess that could be a way for manual intervention to control the weather. I don't know. They put satellites up there.
See, and Ben Franklin did the thing with the key, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, I don't know about that part. I don't know about
The
that.
kite with the key.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know about that part. I don't know about that part.
Look, I'm just trying to participate here, help out a little bit.
Marriage joke of the week, y'all. Our marriage joke of the week. Here we go. Again, I don't make them up. I just find them funny. If you got a marriage joke that you want to share on Ty and Cody on Purpose Show, feel free to email us at coach@aplmcoaching.com, and I'll be glad to read your joke on air because sometimes y'all don't find my jokes funny.
No, I got a feeling this is going to be a good one. I have a feeling deep down inside.
Let's go. All right, ready?
Yes.
An elderly couple was talking in the evening.
Love it already.
Honey, I'm so sorry to let out my anger at you so often. How do you manage to stay so calm with my foul moods? Man, I got jokes already. I always go clean the toilet when that happens. And that helps, he says. Huh? Yes, because I'm using your toothbrush.
You know what? That is so mean. That's evil.
It is evil, but it's funny.
At least she told him. Now imagine not telling him. Listen.
Right. Or was it him that was clicking in her
Right, that was
toothbrush?
him.
Oh, I thought she was using his toothbrush.
But hey,
That would have been a better story.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been. But but first of all, at least she was able to, if you want to, at least she was able to recognize that she has foul moods. So if you were able to recognize you have foul moods, I guess she was coming clean. So I guess he felt like he needed to come clean too. you got a foul mood with a foul mouth, it's because I've been brushing the toilet with the toothbrush. With the foul.
Now I get it now. It took me a minute, but I get it now.
That is so wrong.
It is
so good.
But you wouldn't be able to taste the toothbrush and go, this tastes kind of salty. No. That'd just be nasty. that is nasty, because if you think about it, you kiss your wife with that same, your husband with that same mouth.
From now on, I'm hiding all my toothbrushes.
I have to brush before I kiss every time.
For real?
I'm
not allowed to kiss unless I brush.
Cody is like, she's like, I had onions, don't kiss me. I'm like, babe, I'm supposed to love you
like,
for
I
better
don't
for
care.
worse.
I'm
For
like,
better for worse.
Look,
kiss me.
no.
She's like, well, let me go brush my teeth first. No. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it is a little tart, but I'm supposed to love you regardless, right?
So you one of those husbands as is. You just take it as it comes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not the same.
So long as she ain't got boo-boo hanging from her lip.
Yeah.
Seriously?
I mean, would you take it off? Would you go, hey, boo, you got something right here, and then kiss her?
If it's the piece of lint or something like that, yeah, I would take the piece of lint off. And because I was like, oh, babe, you got something on your lip. Take that off.
Oh.
And she wipes her mouth.
If he gets that in return.
No, she don't.
No.
I'd be like scratching my back, and I'd be like, can't get that spot. Can't get that spot. Can't get that spot. And she just be staring there looking like, I'm like, so you want to help me get the spot? She does this. She does this, and I go, oh, babe, you want me to get that scratch for you? She be like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm like, oh, okay. But me, on the other hand, I'd be like, can't get that. Can't get that. And she just be sitting there looking like,
it's not always like that.
So is it just me and you that we go above and beyond for our ladies, but then sometimes
tread lightly.
In return, it's like it's not quite the same percentage?
I don't think so. I think, and that's where when we've had this conversation, because we're going to talk about this again. We talked about love languages, and we're going to talk about love languages again, because I think they're giving their percent. They're giving, I would say, their 100%. It just comes in different form, and however, that form should be in the way that we recognize it instead of the way that they want to give it. Because we're doing actually the same thing as well. We're giving them something that, we're thinking, well, I'll say, no, not for me, because I know her love language is acts of service. Mm-hmm. So if I see her, can't get that spot, I'm going to try to scratch it for her.
Can you not, demonstrate that going forward?
So that has a lot to do with your love language.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. I just thought of it as, look, what I give you, I want back. Like the same quality of it.
And you can get it back.
But that's not the same. That's not true if that's not your spouse's love language, though. What you decide to give to them, more often than not, is going to be your love language. When what you should be doing is giving them their love language.
Well, dang.
And we're going to talk about that, because that's another conversation that we get quite frequently. People go, we heard y'all talk about love languages, and we still don't get it. And so we're going to have to dig back into that. We're going to dig back into that one. So, but national days, here we go. So y'all already said today is May Day. May Day, get it? May 1st. I don't get what the actual real May Day is.
It's centered around immigration.
Aha.
And I apologize that I did not do my due diligence, but had I known you were going to bring that up, I would have studied that a little bit.
No, I mean, because I don't know. So if anybody knows what May Day actually is, feel free to, write in, tell us, call us, 803-692-6370.
Or hit us in the Facebook chat.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah, hit us up in Facebook. Or, I want to know what May Day is. But today is actually, or this month, the month of May, is actually Date Your Mate month. So, of course, because we always have to do something relationship. Why are you giggling? It's Date Your Mate month. So, we always encourage people to date your mate. Now, I wonder whoever came up with this had to have been somebody from outside the United States, because we don't say date your mate. We say date your spouse, date your husband, date your wife. But Date Your Mate month. So, I guess that can relate to husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, however you choose to categorize yourself. Date Your Mate month. So take an opportunity to date your mate this month. Cody and I, we personally try to at least make a date at least once a month. Now, sometimes we do a little bit more, sometimes we do a bit less. We encourage you to do it at least once a month. Put it on your calendar, schedule it. We actually listened to a blended family seminar this past Sunday, and there was a couple that was on there where the wife actually says she literally has to call his secretary to say, hey, can I get on my husband's calendar for a lunch date? or for this date. And but in turn, he actually says he does carve out a specified amount of time specifically for his wife and for his family. So we encourage you, date your mate. It's also one of my favorite foods, two of my favorite foods, National Salad and National Salsa Month. I love salad
and salsa.
Yeah, not together, but it's National
Cinco de Mayo.
I was getting there too because that's coming up on May 5th.
That's one of my favorites.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
No. Oh,
yeah,
so, yeah.
It's
Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, May 5th. May 5th coming up, Cinco de Mayo. But are you celebrating, May? Because most people like to go to a Mexican restaurant, get them some tequila. They go get them, what are those? Coronas and enchiladas and tacos and taco
margaritas.
And margaritas.
There we go. With the salt around the thing.
I like sugar.
Oh, I've never had it with sugar.
Yeah, I salt is
Okay.
But yeah, so it's so while you're there, one of my favorite restaurants to get.
I was just going to say, what's a good restaurant?
On the Border. I like On the Border because they have great salsa.
Is that like a Taco Bell kind of thing?
It's a chain.
It's a chain restaurant, and it's the
fast food or sit down.
It's sit down.
Okay, I'm thinking it was like Taco Bell.
On the Border, it's the sister restaurant of Chili's.
Ah.
Yeah, it's the sister restaurant of Chili's. It is Mexican. Their food is pretty decent. I would say, like I said, it's for chain food because Cody is not a chain person.
No, I'm not. I prefer authentic, family-owned restaurants, be it Mexican, be it Italian,
be it Caribbean. We just went to a Caribbean one the other day.
Ah, okay.
Those are the best.
Gotcha. Yeah. There's one off of Central Avenue.
I
don't know if you've been on there, but they got some good restaurants right there.
Gotcha.
In the heart of
We've been to a Caribbean restaurant.
Yeah, we've been to quite a few.
Down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same one.
Okay.
So, since it's Date Your Mate Month, why don't you go to a Mexican restaurant, find you an authentic Mexican restaurant somewhere in your city. Matter of fact, Maurice is actually saying, and post it. Yeah, post it on the site. Maurice is actually saying, go for a walk on the mall in D.C.
We have to plan that.
He's in the D.C. area. Go
walk on the mall. We haven't done that.
Yeah. No, in the National Mall in D.C.?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to, because I want to go to the new African American History Museum.
The Smithsonian.
I call it the African American History Museum because there are a bunch of Smithsonian museums.
I know, but you're supposed to preface it by saying the Smithsonian African American History Museum.
Oh, okay. The Smithsonian African American History Museum. Yeah. Great idea, Maurice. So when I come back home to the DMV, that's what we're going to do. Take a walk on the mall at Smithsonian. Or if you do like Cody and I, which we used to do, we actually used to literally walk the mall. Like we used to literally
Mall of America in Minnesota. Have you ever been there?
I love. It's been years.
I've been wanting to go, but I haven't.
You need like 2 or 3 days.
That's how we used to get exercise, but walking around Concord Mills.
I thought that was for old people.
North Carolina.
Walking?
Mall walking? Come on, son.
No, you can get 3 miles in.
Oh, get your good miles in.
Oh, y'all must go in the afternoon because in the morning they be like all up in there.
Oh, they be in there before.
Yeah,
they be
before
at work even open
in the morning.
Yeah, I got a 9 to 5, buddy. It's called a Purpose for Life marriage coaching.
So the younger people in the afternoon, seniors in the morning. Okay,
exactly.
Right. Just checking.
But it's good. It works.
Okay, hey, indoors. Why not? I'm not.
And
a
this
sun
morning
person.
we went outdoors just because it was nice. At 5:45 a.m.
Exactly.
Fort Mill has Riverwalk, just so you know, if you haven't heard about it. Great facility. You're on the river. You kind of have like this big, huge, it's probably like 8 miles or so. And you just go around in one big circle.
Wow.
Beautiful landscape. Wow. The river, the flushing waters.
We got to make a trip down to Fort
Mill,
South Carolina, y'all.
Thank you for sharing.
Renee, we're not old. I see that comment on Facebook.
It's not just me.
Renee, you don't comment that. You just don't comment at all.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's a setup.
It's also National Mental Health Awareness Month, for those who did not know. Yeah, mental health awareness.
Good to know.
That is, I know a lot of people who deal with people who either whether education or just in general who deal with people with mental health issues. So I'm pretty sure they're big on Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And got another one. Last but not least, National Day of Prayer is this Thursday.
Come on.
So of course we always, we're spiritual beings here, which is the 4th.
Okay.
So take an opportunity to pray with your spouse. I encourage it. I don't know about you all, but I even had to share with Cody a couple weeks ago that it does something for me. I don't like leaving the house in the morning without one, my kiss, a good love you, and a prayer. With Cody.
Same.
I say it and don't get me wrong, I still say my prayer by myself, but I always think it's a good idea to pray with your spouse. It brings a different level of intimacy within you and your spouse in the first place. Because when you pray, usually you're opening your heart, and your spouse gets to hear what your heart is. And what's on your mind. And so I think, take a good opportunity on Thursday, May 4th, to exercise National Day of Prayer. Cody's looking at me.
What?
Oh, I thought you was getting ready to say something. You
it was those like Google eyes again. Right. I be noticing that.
I was going to say, when you pray, you can't be upset with your spouse.
That too. I was getting ready to say. Because,
or at least it helps you not to be upset with your spouse. Because how can you pray and you have a grudge against?
Don't go to Jesus with ill will.
Exactly.
Clean it up.
Because you think about that. Because they say don't go to bed. When you're upset.
That's right.
You're supposed to at least get to a place where you can say.
I'm glad you feel.
That's hard to do, dude.
It is hard to do.
I be trying to have closure, but like I said, I got 48 hours, but still.
But there's nothing wrong with you having those feelings. But if you pray together, then you can still have your feelings and you can release them to God and say, okay, at least I can go to bed feeling a little bit more comfortable. We done prayed. I can still say I love you. Don't mean I necessarily like you right now, but I can still say I love you, and I can roll over, go to sleep, and be okay.
Is it a fake? Be honest now, because when you in the heat of the moment, I love you. It's like, really, you could have kept that till we made up. You know what I'm saying?
It depends.
But you know what? This one right here, he wants to hear it regardless. And I keep saying, why wouldn't you want to hear it when I'm in a good mood? Why wouldn't
authentic?
You want, yeah.
I do like it when she's authentic, but I also like to know that, and she knows this, that regardless, at the end of the day, because Cody, she's one that I'll get up and leave. And I'm like, I need to know that you ain't gonna get up and leave, that you at least love me enough that you gonna stay, that you gonna say, I just love just the comfort thing to say, I love you,
But it can even be a text, and he'll say, I love you. And if I don't respond back, he's like, what's wrong? I said I love you. It's like,
it just hit me. He wanted them that he want to make sure he I love you before he close his eyes, because when he wake up and you gone, he can be like, where she went? And packed everything up while he was asleep.
But you never even know. What if I don't wake up? And you say what if you say I don't wake up, and you had an argument the night before, and at least you could say the last thing I said was I love you, or you walk out the door and God forbid you get in an accident and something happens.
I love you, man.
And then you go
always get to the heart,
right? And you go, okay, I was upset with them, but I could at least said I loved you.
And that's a bad one to live with too. Dang,
right? Ty? You could at least said I loved you.
It ain't the same. I try to think about it, but it ain't the same.
So that actually leads into my question of the day, y'all. This is actually my hot topic for today. I heard this the other day, and this made me think for a second. So, Mr. Entertainment, Cody, I really want to know your opinions. Facebook family, WBND radio family, TuneIn family, I want to know your opinions as well. 803-692-6370 is the number here in the studio. Hit us up on Facebook as well. Here's my question. If a man, or nowadays, a woman, actually proposes and the woman says no, is the relationship over? So if I propose to you, or you propose to me, and you say no, at that time, do I say, okay, well, dang, does that just end our relationship then because you said no? Or does no mean no right now, possibly later? Or maybe we could just continue to date and still work this out, and who knows, we're just happy where we are.
That's a good one, because I think a lot of people expect the yes, and it's so easy to think that. But I think just like anything else, you can't have false expectations. You have to factor in there may be a no.
But nowadays, do most people ask that question without really knowing what the response is going to be?
Some people do. Some people do surprise proposals. And, I mean, Because, right, you may have a situation where a person, like, for instance, today, listening to the radio, listening to another station early this morning, and a guy...
Cheater.
and a guy had cheated on his girlfriend.
Okay.
He cheated on his girlfriend, and they have this segment on the show, Shoot Your Shot. And so his shot was he wanted to call back in so he can have the radio people call her to say, hey, he apologizes for something he did when you all were together before. Now he wants to get back together. She had no clue that he was calling to say, I want to get back together. So it's sort of the same thing. She has no clue, and he was shooting his shot to say, okay, I'm going to take my chances to say, I want to get back with you. She could have said, oh, heck no, I won't be with you no more, and been embarrassed on the radio.
But that's on the radio. That's not really being embarrassed. Well,
I take that back. I take that back. If you put your real name out there, that's embarrassment.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling, man, because I'm trying to play it out in my head when I propose the stats, and she said yes, but then I'm trying to think about if she said no.
What would you have felt?
Yeah, I would have felt bad. Like, I almost would have wanted to break up with her. Almost.
To be perfectly honest, I think most men wouldn't be able to handle the rejection, so therefore the relationship is off completely.
I think that depends. I think that depends on the no. Because if you sit there and you was like, no, or if you was like, let
me see that ring first,
right, right, no, or depending on that, so if you did the no in comparison to, oh babe, can we talk about this? I wasn't expecting you to say, let's, that's a difference. That's still you saying no to a certain degree.
Had I given you that response, the latter one you just shared, how would you have felt?
My feelings would have been hurt, no doubt. Not saying that, but if you said, okay, I don't know, let's talk about this first, well, especially considering the fact that I did go all out and I had people there and everything, I would have felt embarrassed. It was in
public.
That's a lot of pressure.
I would have felt embarrassed.
And even if she wanted to say no, she probably couldn't have said it at that time.
Right. And then you go back and you be like, so, about that proposal earlier, I really wanted to say no. We had, since you went all out, you had your people there, you had a camera person, you had somebody singing to us.
Camera person?
Yeah. I did, dog.
Oh, snap.
I got it all.
He made sure she didn't say no.
Right. I mean, like, do you actually, would you be like, okay, so I guess is the relationship over with? You go your way, I go mine? Or like...
I don't think it's really like that, though, Ty. Now that I think about it, it's like, you know what? No. Now, do they have to give an explanation right then and there? Maybe not. That way, you put your ring up, you suck your pride up, right? Because it's hard to put that ring back in your pocket. It'd be like, dang, But I think you do need a piece of, you know what? No, but let's talk about it for a second. Put the ring up and let's talk about it for a second and then have a conversation. Now, for me, I would think, you know what? Until you and your baby mama get things together or, you quit drinking, whatever. That's it could be for your own good.
Yeah. Right. And that's what I said. That's the immediate no, but that may not be the long-term no. It may be, like you said, you may need to get some things together or I may need to get some things together and then I will feel more comfortable saying yes. But at this time, babe, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no. I still love you. I still want to be with you. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no. Now, that no is different than, I wasn't ready. I didn't want to marry you. I mean, because there are people who do that, though.
It's time to go. Because I'm not wasting my time.
If somebody said it that way,
it's time to go.
It's done.
Because you never know what somebody's intentions are. Somebody's intentions may not be the long term. Somebody's intentions may be, I'm just here to have fun, and you're the person who I choose to have fun with. It ain't my fault you caught feelings.
Those are the type of discussions that need to take place prior to you asking.
Not everybody.
Well, to that same point, I know they fake kind of thing, but John Cena and Brie Bella. Okay. I don't know if y'all kept up with that or whatever, but anyway, he's a wrestler and she's a wrestler, and she's been wanting to marry him for a long time. Okay. And he kept saying no, like on television. Really? And again, on the real side of it, he really did not want to marry her at this time. And he finally proposed to her, and she was ecstatic.
Gotcha.
So she waited for her yes, because he's the love of her life, and she was like, you know what, when you're ready, let me know, but I ain't going nowhere.
And I'm sure it's probably worth it too.
Oh, absolutely. Nice. Absolutely.
That's what's up.
So sometimes the no means, you know what? Let me work on me. Let me get something together that on the back end that you may not be familiar with. Mm-hmm. And it's going to help us both out in the long run.
Yeah. See? So the no may not necessarily mean right now. It can be
long term.
Yeah.
Because if I tell you yes right now and it really means no, when we get together, it's going to be like, you know what?
Right.
You should have. So right. But I wanted to give you a yes because that's what you wanted. Mm-hmm. But look what we got in return.
And I think at that point in time, like you said, you give the yes or you give the no, and you say, okay, well maybe, or maybe you say yes, and you can say yes, but let's just hold off. I'm gonna say yes. I do want to marry you. However, let's just hold off. We don't have to. Let's be engaged for a while. Let's continue to learn each other. Let's continue to go through the proper preparation, so that way we're preparing for marriage and not just the wedding.
Speaking
without
of that, real quick,
the cookie.
What? Ooh. Had to catch myself for a minute, y'all fornicators. Hold on. I had to say, whoa.
Hey, that's how you really truly know if you in it for. Why you looking like that?
I was like, cookie. You talking about chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, peanut butter cream?
I'm sorry. There is no way you're going to string me along and you have all the benefits of marriage, but I don't have the commitment. Sorry, bruh.
So instead of saying no, if you say yes, let me see how true you really are. Because the cookie jar stays sealed.
Exactly.
Until
that's the prize at the end of the rainbow.
I like that. But I was going to ask though, because you done messed me up with that one for real. But what's the effect of engagement? Like, what's the long term from a relationship standpoint? Do you recommend saying, you know what, this is healthy engagement time? 1 year, 2 year, 5 years?
I would say.
I said 2.
I would say at least a year to 2.
Okay,
1 to 2 years. Because and it really depends on how long you've actually been dating. Because if some people date like long term dating, like we're gonna date 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and if you ain't had an opportunity, there are people who date that long and then go, we happy where we dating, and eventually when I get around to it, I will marry him or her. But so if you've dated for that long, then there ain't really no point in you being engaged for another 2-3 years. You might as well just go ahead and do what you're gonna do. But if for people who have been dating for 6 months to a year to 2 years, it would be good, I would think, to have that 1 year to 2 year engagement period where you can go through the proper training, you can get, prepare for marriage, because you're at that point in time, your train of thought should have twisted from or changed from, we're not just dating until we're getting ready to do a lifelong commitment. And so there's some things that we need to get together.
So the real commitment is different from common law. I mean, even though we say, we've been together forever, we might as well say we married. Mm-hmm. Rather than making the true commitment, the covenant with God, to say that, you're legally married. I mean, what's the difference in your eyesight?
Between common law and
is it the same?
It is not in my opinion.
Not scripturally. I'm just saying okay.
Just even legally.
Okay.
There's certain benefits that a common law couple cannot receive that a marital couple can receive.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with Cody all the way. Okay, so we've run over our time. We getting ready to come back. We about to take a quick 2-second break. Don't go nowhere. We got a great topic. We are talking about the 10 commandments of marriage, y'all. Don't forget to call in 803-692-6370. Cody is laughing. She must be reading somebody's daggone comment. It's Jason that
Jason,
Jason, go somewhere. Jason, go somewhere. We'll be right back. My chair broke. I got to switch out my chairs. Come right back at you. For those who are on Facebook, watch this quick commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Tell your neighbor. You're listening to the number 1 internet radio station on the planet. WBND Radio. Home of the Brothers in Demand radio show. This is Gospel.
Are you cooking tonight? Yes, if we're not going out tonight now. How was your day?
Fine. How was your day?
Fine.
Do you want to go to a movie?
I'm good.
Does this look like your marriage? Does your marriage feel strained?
Do you feel like your marriage is slipping away? Is your communication not effective?
Reboot your marriage with the Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching, where we're here to help guide and give you the tools you need to make your marriage healthy and successful.
Visit us at pt.1coaching.com.
Or you may contact us via email at coach@aplmcoaching.com or give us a call at 888-466-6104. Live purposefully.
Love purposefully.
Because your marriage matters. Good afternoon, good night, and good morning.
Welcome back.
Ty and Cody back on the air on Facebook, on WBNDradio.com, Facebook Live, all that good stuff, Twitter, Instagram, Black Planet.
You know what? You're dating yourself, dude.
MySpace. Hey, we live on there, y'all.
Those aren't even active anymore, are they?
I heard MySpace was supposed to be back. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake brought it.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been on there, so I really don't know. I haven't heard nobody. I know, right?
It has a new sleek look to it.
For real?
Yeah.
I heard people were using it more so for like music stuff. Like,
it's mainly music.
It's mainly music, right?
Gotcha.
Instead of social.
Gotcha. Okay. So, so we're back on the air. Can't forget about you all. If you all have not downloaded the WBND radio app by now, what are you waiting for? Go to Google Play, go to iTunes, and download the WBND radio app for your mobile devices so you can listen 24/7, 365, where you can let your voice be heard. Great shows, inspiration, all day, every day. As well as, while you got your phone in your daggone hands, have you joined the A Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching Text Club yet? Very simple. We walked through a couple weeks ago. We had a couple in here with us, and we walked them through it on air. Text the letters APLMC to the number 81680. Again, that's APLMC to the number 81680. Very simple. You text that, you get a confirmation, and every day, Monday through Friday, we don't blow up your phone. We just send out just a few little inspirational quotes to help keep you encouraged in your marriage journey. And just go ahead.
I'd like to share the one from today.
Okay.
It says, never tear down your spouse privately or publicly, but be proud and uplift and encourage your spouse at all times, especially publicly.
Yes. Because so many people, how's your day? How's your spouse doing? Oh man, I can't stand her. She got on my nerves today, and then you never know what happens after that. So people do that all the time.
So I got to stop my interracial jokes with stats.
It all depends on what the two of you have agreed on.
That may be your level of comfortability.
If she's okay with that,
okay, cool,
and that's a boundary, a healthy boundary that you all have set.
Oh yeah, and it breaks the racial tension in America.
If y'all could have just saw his face.
Okay.
They don't be ready for that one. It catches them off guard every time.
If you say so.
The looks on people's faces.
So. Y'all join our Purposeful Life Marriage Text Club. It's very simple. It's free. All you have to do is just text those letters to that number and you'll be good to go. Today, y'all, we are talking about the 10 Commandments of Marriage. Okay. So as y'all know, I had to get me a new chair because my chair broke just a moment ago, y'all. But it did. I was getting ready to fall off the chair, so I had to give me a chair when we was on break. But so y'all know I look up and I get topics from either people who contact us or people will say, oh, that may be a good show topic, or stuff that I may be going through, or stuff that I may think that I may realize that other people are going through. But this one I actually happen to be doing some research as I study marriages and I study relationships, just one so I can better my own. I can continue to help other couples and do theirs as well. Absolutely. And I thought this one was pretty cool, the 10 Commandments of Marriage. So as I was thinking about this, I was thinking, okay, we got the 10 Commandments in the Bible, right?
Biggie 10 crack commandments.
Exactly. You know what?
Listen.
The original 10 Commandments themselves are found in the 20th chapter of the Old Testament, of the book of Exodus, verses 1 through 17. But I found a guy named Dr. Kennedy who actually uses the passages of scriptures and actually came up with the 10 Commandments of marriage. Now, there are others out there who also have the 10 Commandments of marriage. They may or may not be scripturally based, so on and so forth. But the ones that I actually found that I particularly like are actually scripturally based. And they go sort of coincide with the 10 Commandments you try to get out the Bible, right?
Nice.
Okay. So for those who aren't familiar, because I'm not going to assume that everybody's familiar, again, 20th chapter of Exodus, verse 1 through 17. I'm not going to read 1 through 17, but I will say the 10 Commandments. You shall not have any other gods before me. You shall not make yourself a carved image. You shall not take the name of the Lord God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land in which the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox or his donkey or anything else that your neighbor owns. Okay, so those are the 10 Commandments that most of us, I believe, are familiar with. I have the Bible, yay, nay, right? Okay, so the 10 Commandments of marriage, though, kind of coincide with that, with those same thoughts and principles. Because when you think about the 10 Commandments of marriage, it's God's commandments for how we should be living our marriage, right? Because God created marriage, right? And it was like one of the only things He said that should be great. Right, and so that's what it is. So Dr. Kennedy, God rest his soul, come to find out he's not alive anymore, died in 2007, I think, came up with these top 10, or not top 10, these 10 things. And it's pretty cool, so we're going to discuss them. And I actually found some other ones that are pretty good that we'll share as well, but we're going to discuss these. We want to hear your opinion. Join in on the conversation, Ty and Cody on Purpose, 803-692-6370. You can also hit us up on Facebook as we are watching your tweets and your messages go across the screen. Number 1, as Cody makes a little smirk on her face,
which I'm sure is your favorite.
No, honestly, don't have a favorite. Thou shalt have no human being. Oh, this may be my favorite. Thou shalt have no other human being before your husband or your wife. Meaning, no other human being should come before your mate. No one, not your father, not your mother, not your son, not your daughter, not your sister, not your brother, not your friend or acquaintance or your job or anything else for that matter. And I'll even say, and it's funny because we've had this conversation at our I'm a leader at one of our churches that, or not one of our churches, but our church, that not even the church should come before your family. Not saying not God, but not the church. People get wrapped up in the church. People get wrapped up in, in work, and my boss is this, that, and the third. And, the church is taking me away from this, that, and the third. Is the church taking you away, or is God taking you away? Because God's not going to take you away from your spouse and your mate and so forth. But the church, on the other hand, you have to be very careful with that and say, I have to respect I have to set a boundary because, I can't, my marriage can't fail because I'm spending my time over here.
Absolutely.
But number 1, thou shalt have no other human being before your husband or your wife.
Are we talking about natural or are we talking about computer generated?
Either or.
Wait, what? If it's computer generated, it's not human.
Either or.
Look, I'm trying to speak for those that's out there in computer land, Facebook, WBD radio, because you know what? Because right now, the computer industry, these apps and everything, if you really think about it, when you look at these images, when you look at these other false, like you said a few weeks ago, false expectation images. I try not to use the word porn, but might as well just put it out there now, is that has taken over some of our relationships and has really detrimented how we view our spouses. I mean, major false expectations, and now you're expecting that same thing. So when you said it, that's the first thing that flipped through my head.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes we say, well, I don't cheat. Okay, if the computer and that relationship is there, I don't see anything different.
You're exactly right.
Are you in my notes? Because that's number 2.
Oh.
Thou shalt not put no thing before your husband or your wife. So you should not put anything between each other. No house should ever come before your spouse, whether it's a house or it's a car or pleasure, money or fame. Nothing. So no thing shall come before. That's number 2.
Is my mind in the gutter tonight?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Because people do. People do actually put things such as pornography. People put their cell phones, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I can't have a straight conversation with you because you like this 24/7 with your face in your phone. I'm like, hello, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, but I need to do this first. No, don't put nothing before your spouse.
Go ahead. You know what? I'm going to go to the gutter since I'm already in trouble anyway. So
not even the children, Toya. Not even the children.
Yeah, I mean, but back in the day, there was this thing called Toys Party or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Pure romance.
Yes, and that was like the big thing. And now, I've gotten closer in my faith. It's like, you know what? I don't want anything to come between me and my wife. So when I think about the little toys and the gadgets and all these extra things to help, they call enhance the relationship. To me, it seems like, some people take those things a little bit too far. So now it's like, you know what? I don't need you. I got my toy.
That's what Cody said, and maybe she's getting ready to say it, but that's what Cody always says. That's when you open Pandora's box. And now
if there's not a healthy boundary set.
Okay.
I think anything that is done, well, let me not say anything, within reason, that has a healthy boundary, it's okay. It's once you begin to either idolize or allow certain things to replace your spouse, then that's when you've crossed the line.
Okay, so fun and games is still cool. Hanging from the ceiling, all that cool stuff.
You still should be able to be, why not? Because you're married, so the sky is the limit.
You should be able to let those boundaries down with your spouse.
Fun.
With your spouse, that is.
And only your spouse.
Make sure my wife
she is Stats on here. We see. You know what, Mr. Entertainment?
You know what?
You got to go home to her.
Call him out. Call him out good. But I will say this. Even for me, the children thing, not putting it before your spouse, that's hard for me.
And it's hard for a lot of people because it was, and that was one thing that when we first got married was a struggle. I would love to hear
if it's truly hard for a man. I rarely hear men putting their children before their spouse.
Yeah, you were just getting ready to hear me say, because that was one of the things that I had a hard time dealing with when we first got married. It was and sometimes, Cody even says, or she still makes little comments here and there, but I'll go, I won't move anywhere until my kids are of age where they are sufficient. And I feel like, they're under a good enough, forth. And because I was big, okay, so having them from birth and being in the household with them 24/7 to not being in the household with them 24/7 because their mother and I have joint custody, so they spend a lot of times with their mom. They spend a lot of time with me. So it was hard for me to pull not completely away, but to pull away where I stopped seeing them every single day, and so it was hard for me to go. You know what? Now I have to start to build a relationship over here with my wife. Now I have to start to do things and set that example as a husband and a father to show them what a true marriage and what a true relationship looks like now over here. And so that, in essence, for me to do that, I had to sort of, not necessarily distance, but I had to change the way that I was doing things with them. Okay. It wasn't that I still couldn't see them every day. It still wasn't that I couldn't spend time with them every day. She wasn't pulling me from my kids, but I had to change my train of thought from, okay, these are my kids. Regardless of what it is, I'm going to go spend time with them and I'm going to do this. You can wait for a moment, because that was my initial thought. You can wait till I get home while I go do this. And it should not have been that way. It should have been more of a conversation for starters, and it should have been more of a compromise. And that's what it took. And it took me a few months for me to get there, because I was putting my boys before anything that I was doing with Cody. Because I felt, I was getting my boys' time, but I was also going to get my Cody and my daughter's time as well. But that was just going to come after.
The leftovers.
That was just going to come after I got my boys' time.
I got you. What did that look like for you? Because I need clarity around that. Because it was like, my child comes first. Is it there has to be a reason though. Is it because this is the one that I birthed, and if he ever goes bye-bye, I'll always have my child? Or like what does that look like?
So from my end, as it relates to my daughter, or the fact,
or just
so
I don't have to be too personal, but just an example.
In my situation, it was okay. So she's experienced the loss of her birth father, right? Meaning the marriage is gone. And I don't want her to feel like, okay, now my father's gone. Now my mom has remarried. I don't want to now lose my mom as well. And I never wanted her to feel like she was by herself, right? So I always tried to create a stable environment for her. Gotcha. And a lot of times it was, okay, as soon as I get home, I need to find out or tend to Sydney first, and then I can tend to you later.
Okay. And you conform to that at some point where y'all had that balance?
Yes and no. Where, okay, initially it was that because in our marriage, it was the whole thing of, it felt
children
like it was
came first on both sides.
The children came first on both sides,
and it worked out.
But to a certain degree, we had to rethink some things. We had to rethink some things, and it wasn't that we needed to put our children to the side, but one, we wanted to set an example for our children of what a marriage should look like, and because obviously our first marriage just did not work out, so we needed to put a more positive image of what marriage looks like that they don't get off of TV, that they're not getting from out in the streets and so forth. So we had to come together and put our heads together and say, how can we work this? How can you still be able to give your daughter the attention that she needs? How can I still be able to give my boys the attention that we need? And then collectively, because I just said something, how do you give your daughter? How do I give my boys? How do we collectively be able to give our kids collectively what they need to be able to give them a stable environment, as well as what they can see to be a positive relationship, a positive marriage, and them not feel isolated, put to the side, or even belittled because mom has a new mom has a new husband, or dad has a new wife. And so we had to think about that. And it wasn't easy.
And sometimes, even now, it's still a challenge. I literally have to drive home from work and talk to myself and say, okay, Nicole, as soon as you walk in the door, you greet Ty first, you give him a kiss, you ask him about his day, then you tend to the children.
Be intentional.
Because, you have to be intentional.
Work. It really takes work.
You have to be intentional, because sometimes even children notice it, and sometimes children will say, okay, but that's my mom. So you know what? I'm going to jump in front of mom first. So I'm going to jump in front of dad first, just to see exactly.
And I think what we also had to do was not just us agree, between ourselves, but then we had to have the conversation to the children and to explain why. I don't think it's good for you to make these changes and just to expect the kids just to follow through. No, they need to be part of the discussion, as far as telling them this is why things happen and this is what you can expect to occur. Doesn't mean that you're left out, but this is just where you fall in line. Good. That way everybody is included.
Wow, exactly. That communication piece is big.
It's major in every relationship. And so when you think about the first two, thou shalt have no human being before your husband or your wife, or thou shalt put no thing before your husband and your wife, you have to kind of, really reevaluate the things and the people that are in your life. It doesn't necessarily mean you're putting people off to the side or you're putting things off to the side. You can still enjoy your life. You can still enjoy your children. You can still enjoy your friends. Because what I realized is, okay, so now I know that Cody's going to greet me first. I know where she's going next. I know she's going to Sid next, and I can give her that time where I'm not going to harass and hound her for that attention. So now that I've gotten mine, I know she's coming back to me later, and I know she's already greeted me first. So I can let it go. And it was...
Although I still joke on him we asked each other this question. So this was probably a week before we got married. So if we were all in a boat and the boat tipped over, who would you say first? And he immediately said, my kids.
They couldn't swim at the time. I didn't want them to drown.
Pressure.
So that let me know where I stood.
Oh my.
But again,
in the pecking order.
But again, I had to change, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle for me to change my thought process on that pecking order. And I literally had to sit down with a counselor for someone to say, this is the way that God designed it. So because the way God designed it this way, you are supposed to follow it this way, and you need to be able to set that example for your kids as well. And it took a minute for me to go, okay, you know what? Because Cody was saying the same thing. This is the way you supposed. I'm like, really? What? And I'm like,
and after I moved 1,000 miles away, I mean, back closer to you. Come on, bruh.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But it took a minute, but I got it, and I'm good with it now. I'm good with it now. Along the lines, number 3, and I know we're running out of time. Along the lines of our message today, of our APLMC text message, thou shalt not belittle, criticize, or find fault, but rather encourage your spouse in all ways.
Beautifully and wonderfully made. Wow. So I can't none of that. So if I can't say something nice, just don't say nothing at all.
There's a way in which you communicate it, because you shouldn't withhold, right? Mm-hmm. To me, if you withhold, you're just building up frustration that at some point, in some form or fashion, will explode.
Well, I'm always giving the love kindness gestures. Sometimes Stats has one of those unfilters that just tells it to you just like it is, and it's like you filter out all that other fluff. She always says you put a bow on it.
Wait, so I'm gonna give it to you, but yet you put a bow on it?
Correct. So it's like, look, if you want my answer, I'm going to give it to you. However I give it to you.
Well, I do tell him this too. Do not ask a question if you don't want to know the truth.
And I have gotten to the point where, you know what? I get you back. So don't ask me nothing if you don't want to know the truth either. But yes.
Okay.
You have to say stuff in love. Stats. I'm saying that for Moses. You have to say stuff in love. And it takes work.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that switch or that filter that they can do that. And you can still be raw. You can still be quote unquote unfiltered, but you can still say it in a way that is not
it's not a tongue
it's
lashing.
It's not a dagger.
So good at.
Because you know what? When Jesus talked to the Pharisees, he kind of made them feel kind of small. I'm just saying. It was pretty bad. It was like, you don't know these things, and it's like, oh.
Sometimes you need a little,
Okay, so I guess there's a certain way that you could talk to your spouse without belittling them, but still kind of let them know, look, I love you, but
this is important to me.
Because
this is why.
So many people, and this is another lesson that we've learned and that we share with couples through a Purposeful Life marriage coaching. So many people take so much time and so much energy to find the negative in their spouse on a daily
basis. That's so good. Yes.
On a daily basis. It's, why don't you ever do this? You don't do this. You should have did this. You. And they don't take the opportunity to remember or think about the positive things
Love it.
that are in their spouse, that they love them or they married them for or dated them for or whatever in the first place.
It's so funny you said that. Last weekend when we had breakfast, we started this new positivity day where as soon as you sit down, you had to say something encouraging to the next person. And it's like, oh, wow, your hair looks wonderful today. Oh, wow, Mom, the biscuits look scrumptious. It was, and it just, when you heard it, it was natural, and it was like, it felt so good, and it set the atmosphere.
And for the one who's giving the positive attribute or giving the positive comment, it helps with changing your perspective on how you view your relationship. At least it has for me.
Just getting ready to say that. So Cody and I do an exercise that we have to get better at, but we try to do an exercise.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that, right?
We do an exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
In which we sit and we in our conversation outside of, hey, how's your day? We sit and we give each other at least 2 to 3 positive things that I love or I like about you. You can repeat it, and you express to that person, you know what? I like that you were able to do this today, and it made me feel this way. So that way, not only am I giving her a compliment, she knows how I feel and about what she did or what she may have said. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for that day. It could have been for the week before, the month before, the year before.
So, babe, I really appreciate the fact that you woke up at 5:30 this morning to go walking with me.
And then she would say how that made her feel.
Oh.
That made me feel supported because I'm trying to lose this.
Yes.
Cheeky cheeks.
I love the cheeky cheeks, both top and
She
bottom.
wants to lose
You
them.
know what? And I enjoyed the conversation we had, but I also felt protected because that early in the morning it is pretty still dark outside. But yeah, it just gave me the encouragement I needed.
Y'all need to join my Fitbit challenge. I'll get you off that weight. So I'm on like 3 different challenges right now.
Hit us up.
Yeah, Fitbit.
Do y'all be doing the challenges?
Yeah,
every now and then. Yeah, every now and then.
Oh, no,
I had to say I've done a couple of them and come within first or second. But it does. I actually get. I got the Cody spirit when I do the challenges because she's competitive. So if I see that I'm not in, I'm falling
he just
behind.
Always wants to beat me, which he typically does.
Not even just her, just people in general. I'm like, what you going? I had people challenge me who I don't know, and I'm like, you know what?
He's even challenged our daughter.
And she'd be like, I had 20,000 steps today. And I'd be like, that ain't fair because you was at recess running around.
Yeah.
I don't have recess no more. Anyway.
But to that last piece, though, do you find it hard to come up with positive stuff?
But that's the challenge.
But that's the point. Especially, that's when it truly counts. Those days when it's, y'all beefing between the two of you. It forces you to look at the positive because there has to be a positive. And every day there is always a positive,
but it always seems like.
But that's not to say you don't avoid the not so positive,
the opportunities,
right?
Yeah,
the challenges, because there's another side to that equation that we can speak of, at the next week. So tune in next week to find out more.
Yeah.
Yes, but take that same energy and effort that you have to say the you not doing, you shoulda, coulda, woulda, finding those negative, criticizing, finding fault moments. Take that same energy and twist it, like Cody says, and find the positive. Think of it, at least I challenge each and every one of you who is listening to WBNDradio.com or on watching us on Facebook Live as well to find at least 3 positive things that you can say to your spouse on a daily basis. Just 3.
I just want to say this real quick. Jason made a good point. A lot of times we have issues putting our spouses first, mainly because we did the family thing out of order based on how God designed it. If we were to marry first, enjoy our spouses, then have children, we would do a lot better.
I like that. I like that.
So basically, put things in order. That I really like that. So for those who are not married, maybe engaged, don't have children or anything like that, maybe you're on the younger side.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Enjoy
have an opportunity to enjoy each other, learn each other. That way, because you're building that foundation of positives, and that's the reason that we express that exercise where you build the foundation of positives. So when the negative times do come, because they will come, unfortunately, you have something to fall back on as a support system and in the foundation.
Excellent.
Love it.
Yes. So that is the 3 of 10 commandments, y'all. We will continue this conversation next Monday here on WBNDradio.com as well as on Facebook Live. We appreciate you all support for tuning in. Don't forget, you can share this video with your family, with your friends. Sharing is caring, you all. Sharing is caring. Cody's laughing. Sharing is caring. And who knows, maybe Jason will have another something very good to get to say next week, because he killed me with the eating comment earlier. I love my brother-in-law. See you all next Monday on Ty and Cody on Purpose, where we live purposefully,
love purposefully.
Ty and Cody. Peace. Facebook family. Facebook family. Facebook family. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget, share the video. Join the text club. Download the WBND Radio app. All that good stuff. But most of all, we appreciate you because we couldn't do this without you, as well as our WBNDradio.com family. Thank y'all for tuning in each and every Monday. We appreciate y'all. Next week, we'll be going through more of the 10 commandments of marriage. We did our top 3 today of thou shalt not have any human being, thou shalt not put anything, and thou shalt not belittle or criticize your spouse. We will see you all next Monday, same time, same place. WBND Radio, Facebook Live, the Ty and Cody on Purpose Show. Peace.
Are you cooking tonight?
Yes, if we're not going out tonight now.
How was your day?
Fine. How was your day?
Fine.
Do you want to go to a movie?
I'm good.
Does this look like your marriage? Does your marriage feel strained?
Do you feel like your marriage is slipping away? Is your communication not effective?
Reboot your marriage with the Purposeful Life Marriage Coaching, where we're here to help guide and give you the tools you need to make your marriage healthy and successful.
Visit us at aplmcoaching.com.
Or you may contact us via email at coach@aplmcoaching.com or give us a call at 888-466-6104. Live purposefully,
love purposefully,
because your marriage matters.